While I was getting my arm stitched up, I had a dream about the lady in red. We were on the beach again. She kissed me all up and down my body, her hot breath on my skin. I ran my hands along the swell of her hips, pulling her tight to me. And we groped and caressed, and it was hot. So hot. And just as we were in the throes of passion, and she's running her hands down my washboard abs. Yeah, in my dream, I have those. Suddenly her teeth clamp down on my throat, but she doesn't bite. Not yet. Because she's enjoying feeling my vocal cords vibrate as she rips open my belly and pulls rope after rope of my intestines out, twining them round her fingers while I scream and scream and scream, and I know this is the part she likes. Yeah. Puts a different spin on all those paranormal romances that people like to read, doesn't it? My advice to you, if you've ever been inclined to get intimate with a non-human entity, especially one that normally munches on humans, don't. Not that she's actually revealed how she plans to kill me. The dreams are just my monkey-brained remix of my own dumb words. But if I want you to catch me, and her bone-chilling response, well, let's just say none of the others liked it very much when I caught them. Yeah, I'll bet. After my release from the hospital, I trade out my little houseboat for a big fancy yacht because, I figure, last time she only caught me when I got careless enough to go strolling on the beach. How is she gonna find me if I stay out on the open ocean? What's she gonna do? Rise up out of the deep like the Little Mermaid from hell and crawl up onto my yacht? Shouldn't have jinxed it. I'm basking in the sun, sipping a pina colada. Is it a pina colada or pina colada? Regardless, a fancy one with a slice of pineapple and a little umbrella placed in it by a boy whose sole job is to pop those suckers open and gussy up my drinks. Why not? I got $1 million. When Umbrella Boy's eyes go wide, I turn my head and there, in a vibrant scarlet bikini that leaves very little to the imagination, she flashes a quick wink, tossing her damp hair over one burnished shoulder as she swings long, dripping wet legs over the railing. Umbrella Boy's jaw hits the deck, and he's popped more than the umbrella he's holding. I spit my drink out and fling the glass. Good thing my big boat has a little getaway boat attached for just such a scenario. Ciao, Bella. We have got to stop meeting like this. But also, what the hell? How? Anyway, moral of the story is, fuck boats. Next, I take to the skies. Hiring that private jet I mentioned cost a huge chunk of change. It's such a bite out of my $1 million, I almost can't do it. But once we're at cruising altitude, I know it'll be worth every cent. There will be 1,000 pounds of pressure on every square foot of that cabin door, making it physically impossible to open, encasing me in a steel box thousands of feet in the air. Just me, the private chef I hired to serve a 5-course meal, the wines the chef picked out to pair with each course, and that $2,500 premium aged bourbon I splurged on because I've always wondered what real luxury tastes like. And if you're wondering, gee, Jack, didn't she already warn you about taking things more seriously, and shouldn't you maybe set your priorities better? Well, you haven't tried that bourbon yet. Sadly, neither have I. We've barely taken off the ground, and I'm just settling into my chair about to open that bottle when all the hairs on my neck suddenly stand up on end like sentries. Shit. I whisper, disbelieving because I checked, double-checked, triple-checked. I scoured every inch of the plane, and I swear there was not so much as even a speck of red. Not even a red napkin. Not even red wine. Not one single red drop. But as I unbuckle and turn around, Jesus fucking Christ! Red. Stepping out from the back of the plane like she's been there all along in a flowing evening gown, the lady purrs, "Hey, Jack." And that's the story of how I fling myself out of a plane in a parachute without ever tasting a drop of bourbon. But hey, I think it's time for a confession. If you haven't figured it out by now, humor is my coping mechanism. Ever want to know who the saddest person in the room is? Look for the comedian. But the truth is, the reason that Jack in the story is so YOLO is because he's pretty well doomed to die in just a few days, and knows it. All the lady's seemingly impossible feats, they're not just my imagination. No. I felt those shadow claws when they were cutting through my arm like hot butter. In fact, I didn't mention it earlier because it's not a funny detail. But while I was sipping pina coladas and buying that $2,500 bourbon, I was also doped up on pain meds. Because she fucked up my arm real bad. The truth is, I wasn't actually thinking of the bourbon when I jumped out of the plane. No, what I was actually thinking about is how completely, truly, royally, and utterly fucked I am. I probably don't deserve sympathy, but I figured I'd drop the facade for a second because this post is about to get real dark. See, I'm about to make a mistake. So you know how sometimes when you're extremely sleep deprived, strung out on adrenaline, and high as a kite on maybe more than just pain meds? Hey, I had $1 million. You come up with ideas that in the moment seem like a stroke of genius, and in retrospect might not be, the best. I'm just trying to set expectations here. Right. That was enough of a disclaimer. Skydiving. That's where we left off. Me taking a plunge from my private jet, leaving behind my Michelin star chef. He's not, but cost enough that he should be. And $2,500 bourbon. Fun fact. I'm actually scared of heights. Which is why skydiving isn't even on my bucket list. But hey, sure, why not? Let's add it now and check it off. Jack's bucket list. Disney World? Check. Yacht and pina coladas. Must have toothpick umbrellas. Check. $2,500 bourbon. Skydiving. Check. Boom. Done. But now that I'm in freefall, literally and figuratively, pull the cord, Jack. It occurs to me to wonder just how exactly the lady keeps popping up like some sort of reverse Carmen Sandiego where the hottie in red chases me. As my chute opens and my descent slows, I'm drifting down towards a patch of green when my eyes bulge out of my head at a flash of red far below. It's the lady, striding through the grassy field. No, you were just on the plane. I've lost it, kicking and screaming like a toddler as I gently drift towards the red. No, it's physically impossible. Don't you dare kill me. Don't you fucking dare. No. And then the grass comes rushing up, and thank God I used to do a little bit of parkour because I need these legs. Need them in order to run. Which I do after I land and untangle myself and bolt screaming. The screaming is undignified but entirely warranted, because this is the moment I realize that the laws of physics do not apply. That I've tried planes, trains, scratch that, boats, and automobiles. That I could shoot myself to space in a rocket ship right to the stars, and she'd still find me and tie my guts into a bow. Anyways, maybe all my shrieks about her cheating make her feel bad because she doesn't catch me. Yet? And now, we've finally gotten to those assassins I mentioned. Well, assassins is a bit of a misnomer. Really, they're a biker gang I met at a rest stop while I was careening across Alabama. Kentucky? Wyoming? Geography's not my strong suit. Under normal circumstances, I would avoid these so-called motorcycle clubs because I've run afoul of their sort before. There's a reason I won't visit the entire state of Texas. Let me tell you, these guys never forget if you wrong them. But hey, since this jackal is being pursued by a magical murderous bear, suddenly a pack of deadly wolves smells like an opportunity. Their protection doesn't come cheap, but I'm willing to pay whatever it takes. And just like that, I gain a leather-clad Hell's Angels-style posse. Hell yeah! So, pretty lady, question for you. I know how hungry you are, but are you ready to eat bullets? I tell him to shoot her on sight. And then, while one of the gang drives the RV I rented, I finally have an opportunity to crash in the back. The moment my head hits the pillow, I'm out. I dream of the lady, of course. The whisper of her laughter sends my heart into spasms. I try to sit up, but she shoves me down and straddles me. Her hands roving across my chest and shoulders. Those manicured nails digging in through my shirt as she says breathily, "Jack, think you're so clever, but you came for that million like a mouse sniffing around a bit of cheese." She ruffles a wad of cash under my nose so I can smell that crisp green. And then, flashing a wicked smile, she flicks a lighter flame to the bottom of the cash. "Hey!" I lunge for it. She laughs, shoving me back. "So predictable. You're no better than your marks. But now, it's your turn. Jack, it's your turn." And as the money burns, her smile stretches across razor teeth. I gasp awake. The rumble of the RV's motor slowly grounds me, and my heart slides back into a steady rhythm as I take out my phone and check the time. 12 hours have passed. I look around, but there's no sign of red, and no tingling at the base of my skull. Finally, I relax a little. Open a bag of chips and a beer. Not very sustaining, but I'm too famished to be fussy. I type up my first entry and post it. Afterward, I flick through my phone and, for the first time in days, check up on business. He's this old gay guy I've been stringing along for a while. I call him Jerbear. Jerbear thinks I'll meet him, if only he sends enough money to help me escape my war-torn country and navigate the complex and expensive immigration process. I'm crafting a message thanking him for the money, but telling him how I can't leave my sick little sister behind. I don't know why I do this. I don't need his money. When my phone pings. It is the lady. Lady Blood 2023. Really, Jack? Bikers? Coyote Wiley. Hey, lady. Lady Blood 2023. I swear, chasing you is like chasing a cartoon character. Coyote Wiley. Have you checked my username? Lady Blood 2023. You named yourself for a cartoon character who always fails. Cute. Very you. Coyote Wiley. Bite me. Lady Blood 2023. Soon. Damn it, I set that up and walked right into it. Time to pivot. Coyote Wiley. What you wearing right now? Lady Blood 2023. Nothing. That's a cute leather jacket, by the way. Did you borrow it from your new pals? My monkey brain is wholly distracted by picturing her in nothing, so that I almost miss the whisper from my inner jackal. Psst, don't fall for her distractions. What does she really mean? And for once, it's the clever part of my brain I pay attention to as I frown and type back. Coyote Wiley. Wait, is that why I can't see you? You're not wearing the lady. Not wearing the human shape? No response. I'm just a teensy bit closer to understanding the nature of whatever's chasing me. She's not the lady, but the entity that wears the lady. Like how I wear a profile pic to sucker in sweet saps like Jer Bear. But she mentioned my jacket. If she can see me, can I see her? See what she really is? I swivel my head to peer into all the shadows and out all the windows, but the landscape appears empty. And then my phone pings again. Lady Blood 2023. Rear view. I lower the window and stick my head out into the roaring wind to look back to the rear of the motorcycle pack. She is clinging to the waist of a large man with a red beard, her dress rippling around her like fire. The biker does not seem to be aware of her at all. She raises a hand and waves. But if it's this easy for her to catch up, why am I still alive? Duh. Whispers the jackal voice. It's the same reason I keep playing games with Jer Bear, even though I've got that million. The same reason I keep composing letters from Deshawn to Martha. I'll probably keep doing it even after all this. It's because I can't quit the game. And neither can the lady. Lady Blood 2023. Jack, are you sure you want to involve innocence? Innocent? Ha! If these guys are innocent, then Jack here is an honest man. I don't respond to her provocations. It's clear she doesn't like spectators, so she's trying to bluff me out of my escort by playing on my conscience. As if I have such a thing. I've got no concern for anybody but Jack. But then, she says something that chills me. Lady Blood 2023. So, tell me, which one is your favorite? I sit there for a moment, staring at my phone. Lady Blood 2023. I'll give you 2 hours to ditch the escort. And then, whatever happens is on you. It is a very long 2 hours. Mainly because my driver won't stop talking. Movies, music, Marxism. He has opinions on Putin and GMOs and nuclear power. His jacket lacks the patch that many of the others have. He explains that this is related to the group's hierarchy, that you have to be a member of a certain standing in order to get the patch. He wants the patch so bad. Aw, cute. He eventually asks me to explain TikTok. Apparently, his nephew is on TikTok, and the driver, who goes by the handle Rooster, doesn't know how to watch his videos. By helping him sign in, I memorize his username and password and learn his real name is Robbie. And by also helping him sign into an email he's locked out of, I learn he repeats passwords. I engage him in conversation about family, pets, hobbies, filing away anything that might be useful. I don't plan to use this information, just storing it away for a rainy day. When he asks me about my family, I tell him I was raised by my grandma, Martha. So much easier to spin lies than talk about my real family. Dead to me. Or rather, I'm dead to them. And may it stay that way. What was your grandma's best recipe when you were growing up? Rooster asks. I purse my lips, ruffling through the memories of Martha's letters. Apple Brown Betty. She wrote about how someday Deshawn should visit and she'd make him her famous Apple Brown Betty. Weird name for a dessert, but I wouldn't turn my nose up. Rooster is already spinning off on another tangent. Conspiracy theories and UAPs. I have to admit, despite my intention not to consider him my favorite, I'm kind of warming up to the guy. And then he kind of socks me in the gut when he mentions his nephew recently decided to change his name from Kyle to Kylie. Rooster doesn't get it, but is trying his best, even though he messes up. It's just hard for me to change, cause, I've always known him as Kyle. He says. And I raise my eyebrows, because of all the comments from this old boomer, I did not expect to hear him opening up to me about his uncertainties with how to support his transgender niece. Well, if Kylie can see you're trying, that's the important thing. Yeah, but it sucks, cause I see that it's so hard for the kid. You know? Uh-huh. I say. And for a moment, I'm profoundly struck by how unpredictable human beings can be. Then he starts talking about vaccines and chips they put in your body. And, my dude, I cannot even. Just pick a lane. This is too much political whiplash for me. But hey, maybe there's some method to his madness, because by the time those 2 hours are up, he's told me so much I can't remember any of those passwords or possible answers to security questions. So good for you, Rooster. And hey, you're a cool uncle. I hold Rooster's head in my lap, the blood dripping out all over my jeans and onto the asphalt. The rest of his body lies nearby, gaping red, splitting open his torso. I sigh and look up at the sky. Try not to feel guilty. Try not to. Really, really try. Tell myself all the lies I need to in order to make the guilt go away. I do not want to write this part, but I have to, so maybe you can help me. See, this is the part where I got a glimpse of her, the lady, of what she really is. So, end of the 2 hours. My heart is beating fast. So fast. I don't even hear Rooster's babbling anymore, because for the past few minutes, the only sound in my ears has been my blood pumping. We're in the middle of a long stretch of highway, everything fading to purple except for a vivid line of red on the horizon. And suddenly, there's a figure in the road. She just steps out of the shadows and stands there, backlit by the fading day, in a vermilion dress that flickers like flame. My hackles raise. Every fiber of every muscle taut as a bow. Everything feels as if it's in slow motion as Rooster squints and mutters, What the hell? Wham! The door flies off. It's just gone. The entire driver's side door. I didn't even see the lady move. And Rooster and I both scream as suddenly, he too goes flying out. The RV keeps barreling forward and I lunge and grab the wheel and slam the brakes. From outside comes screams, gunshots, the roar of engines, and squeal of tires. Everything has gotten very dark, almost black. As if an extra veil of shadow has descended along just this stretch. And in the center of that darkness is a woman. It's hard to tell because her shape is shrouded in this rolling liquid smoke, a fluid shadow. As bullets fly, the woman jerks to one side, almost like a puppet. She drops flat to the ground, then leaps, and I hear claws rake across metal and a bike goes screeching, its rider thrown. More screams, bikes tossed like toys, and then they're running. Retreating, rubber burning on the road, leaving a scattering of shredded metal. The shape of the woman turns my way, and behind her, two patches of the most impossibly blackest void like the sky with no stars. Black eyes that wink out. The shadow on the highway lifts, and it's an ordinary twilight again. Dread curdles in my gut. There is something left in the road. No. I think. No. He wasn't my favorite. I did not pick a favorite. I dash forward across the asphalt, and then I'm close enough to make out the leather jacket. The gashes in it so deep they've split open his rib cage and taken his head clean off. I see it neatly severed a few feet away. I pick it up and set it down right next to him on the road. I see his phone nearby, and suddenly it makes me think of TikTok and his niece. Should I inform his family? And say what exactly, Jack? I don't know. So instead, I just sit there telling him over and over and over again that I'm sorry. I've gone numb, drained of all instinct, so numb that I forgot to run. Until I feel the pinprick of fingernails in my shoulder. Chills run through my entire being, turning me to ice despite the heat of those fingers. The grip of those claws reminding me of the penalty for not running. I warned you, Jack. You should have listened. She kneels next to me, flowing red dress, hair cascading around her face, lipstick perfect and skin glowing like she's posing for the cover of a magazine. Her hand cups my cheek and forces my chin up. Despite the numbness, my whole body trembles. Hot. Cold. She smiles. Such a pretty smile. Almost passing for a human. But those eyes. Like a doll's eyes. No life in them. And never was. Let's not involve innocence anymore, Robbie here had a family, and I prefer no strings attached. It's why I picked you. Who's going to notice when you're gone? Her words cut deep, and I shiver. Who'll notice? Martha? When she doesn't get any more letters from the guy who's been grifting her? The family that I cut ties with and would rather see me dead? I guess, as prey goes, by her standards, I make sense. I'm the perfect cut of meat, No strings. I'll leave nothing behind but a few unfinished schemes and whatever bones she doesn't swallow. What are you? I manage. Because if I have a name for what she is, maybe I can figure out a way to beat her. But she smiles. She knows, as well as I do, that the more you know about your opponent, and the less he knows about you, the better. And whatever kind of monster she is, whatever strengths or weaknesses she has, she's not about to give me any hint. She knows that she's only taking out the trash. Just a small-time barnacle preying on the innocent. But she doesn't kill me. Not yet. She retreats along the highway, and as I watch that red dress flickering in the wind, there's a point where, somewhere in the distance, like a candle, it simply flickers out. I swallow hard, close my eyes. From now on, I stop hiring anybody. No more protection, no more assassins or gangs or hired anyone. I don't want people dying for me. So have it your way, lady. We'll play your game your way. Just you and me. No one else. House rules. But of course, I know better than anybody. The house always wins.